Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about Linux file system and its directory structure. So before start this tutorial, I would request you all to do subscribe my channel and share in your group. So Linux file system is very important topic for those who wants to learn the Linux system and wants to develop their application. So Linux file system start with forward slash following with slash bin slash sbin slash etc directories. So these all directories play a different roles in the Linux system. So let's understand those roles. So for that I am going to navigate you on my Linux Ubuntu system to explain all these directories in detail. So first go into root directory. So now you are in the root directory. Enter ls. So these directories contains all these slash bin slash dev etc directories. So now let's understand all the directories one by one. First I'm going into slash sbin directory, sorry bin directory. Bin stand for binaries, so these directory contains all the user space related binaries like ls, mkdir or pwd and also ps, dir, cp. So this directory contains all the user binaries which comes with the Linux system. Next is sbin. Sbin stand for system binaries. So system binaries means like if your system binaries or any binary is going to deal with the hardware or any stack which is running onto the Linux system, in that case your binary should always be placed into the slash sbin directories. So now you can ask me this question and you can think what is the difference between bin directory and sbin directories. So as I mentioned, bin directory contains the user space related binaries and utilities like ls, mkdir, cp. These commands are not going to interact with the hardware or not going to interact with any stack, but sbin directory contains the binaries which are going to deal with the hardware and also the Linux kernel or any stack which is running onto the system. So for example, if you can see this ets tool is going to get information of the ethernet which is connected with the physically connected with the system, and also ip tunnel and uh, many commands like ip tunnel and iwprev and also this xtable multi wps applicant. These all commands are going to deal with the hardware which are connected with the system and the software stack. So next is etc. etc is used for to keep all the configurations of the utilities which are running in user space or in kernel space. I will give you the example like what you can keep into the etc and what are the content of slash etc. So etc contains all the run level information. So as we know, we have 6 run level in the system. So this all run levels having all the configurations, and those configurations are stored in slash etc. So if you want to understand the run levels, so I have already made one video, so you can watch that video to understand the run level. And I will give you one more example like my system is running light httpd. So light httpd is the web server. So web server is located in slash sbin, but the configuration is located into slash etc. So let's go into that configuration folder, and I'm opening this configuration file. So you can see the document is located in slash for where www and the server port is 80. So now if you want to run this web server on different port number like on 85 or 90 port, then in that case you will have to change the port number. So you can change the port number in this configuration file, and then your web server will run onto the 90 port number. So that means slash etc is having the configurations of the Linux system, and also the configurations file of the utilities which is running onto the Linux system. Now the next is slash dev. Slash dev directory is very important directory. It is having all the hardware information, and if you compare this directory with the Windows system, so this is just equal to device manager. So when you connect your USB to serial or any pen drive, then you will can detect your pen drive or USB to serial into the slash device in device manager. So for example, if I'm connecting any for time, just I'm disconnecting this USB to serial. So here you can see it was showing TTY USB 0 here, and now I disconnected. Let me again hit ls command. So you will not be able to see that slash dev TTY USB 0. Similar way, you are seeing this video 0. If I am going to disconnect this camera, video 0 is just my webcam which is connected with my laptop. So when I disconnect this, similar way you will not be able to see this video 0 node. So this is just a device manager. So whenever you are connecting any device or disconnecting any device, that device will be connect or disconnect into from the device manager. So next is slash proc. So proc is directories having all the information of the Linux systems. For example, if you want to know your CPU information, you can simply write cat slash proc CPU info. So it will give you your CPU information. So right now it is running onto the VMware, so you will not get much information, but surely if you are going to use this command onto the standalone Linux system, you will get lot of parameters. Now next is var directory. So var directories stand for variable directories. So here you can define your variable, like if your utility is running into the sbin or bin directory, and your configuration is located in slash etc, and you want to run your variable, or you want to maintain any log files, then that log files or the or any application file you can keep in slash var directory. For an example, if again I'm going to take the example of light httpd. So light httpd is running in slash sbin, and the configuration is located in slash etc, but the html file which I want to run onto the browser, that is located in slash var www. So if you create any html file here, then you can directly go into your go to in your web browser, and you can call that html file. So next is the temp directory. So temp directory is the temporary directory. That means you can store some data, but those data will not be retained after the power cycle. That means you can temporarily store the data, but once the system rebooted or restarted, then you will lose those data. So now you can ask this question like, what is the use of that temp directory then? So temp directory is used if, for example, if you are going to build any application which is required a firmware upgrade. So in that case, you can temporarily use some temporary mount some partition into slash temp, and you can keep your data for and you can download your data. And once your system updated, then you will go for the reboot cycle, and in that case your data will be, your firmware package will be removed automatically. So firmware upgrade is a good example for to use of slash temp directories. Then slash user directory, again having bin games include lib local sbin share and src. So bin directory, so you now again you can ask this question like why user is again having bin directory where we have bin directory and lib directory in the root partition. So that bin directory which is located in root partition, that contain the binaries which comes with the Linux system. But if you are creating any application which you want to run onto the Linux system, then in that case you can keep your binaries as a standard practice in slash user bin. You can keep your library in slash user lib. So so that will also be useful for you to track your application which is running onto the Linux system. So that's why these two there are directories available, there are many directories available in the Linux system to bifurcate the whether the your binary is associated with your Linux system or whether this binary is associated with the user application. Now next is slash home. So again slash home directory is interesting directory and everyone should be aware with these directories. So basically, if whenever we say that you just go into the home directory, so that doesn't mean that you'll have to go in slash home. So home directory means that you will have to write the slash home and the username. So this will be your home directory. So and here you will get the documents and desktop and pictures and downloads, all the default directories. For example, if I want to go into the download directory, then I can write slash home, my username and the downloads. If you want to go into the slash desktop directory, then you can also write this web sign just equal to this home directory. That means you will directly go into the home directory and you can write your desktop. So now I'm in desktop, and the next one is the boot directory. So boot directory contains the information about the boot related files, like it's for example it's having grub. So grub stands for grand unified bootloader. So grub is responsible for to boot the system. So if you have multiple operating system on the in the Linux along with the Linux system, then you can configure your grub accordingly. So your grub will detect all the installed operating system and it will give you the option to which operating system you want to run. Now next is slash lib. So slash lib is having all the libraries of the related to the Ubuntu system. So as in my one of the video I have already explained that there are two types of library in the Linux system. One is the static and the second is dynamic. So dynamic libraries is having .so extension and static library having .t extension. So if you want to explore this topic, then you can watch my that video. The next is OPT. So OPT is stand for the optional directory, but right now I don't have any content on this directory, but I will give you the example where you can utilize this directory. So if you are using any toolchain or any third-party application or libraries, in that case you can keep those binaries and application into slash OPT directory. So for example, if you are going to compile application for Raspberry Pi, so you need toolchain, so you can keep those toolchain into slash opt. The next is slash mnt. Slash mnt is used for mounting your storage. For example, if you have any network storage or a pen drive, in that case you can mount your pen drive into slash mnt. So by default, if you connect any storage device with the Ubuntu system like hard drive or pen drive, then it will mount into slash media. So just I'm connecting my pen drive. So you can see this pen drive is opened into slash into the system. So if you check the property of this location, then by default it's mounted in slash media and username. But if you are running on, if you are working on the Linux system, in that case you will not get this slash media. So in that case you will have to mount your pen drive manually. So just I am unmounting this from this default by default location, and now I am going to mount this pen drive in slash mnt. So you can use sudo mount command slash d, and you also must know the pen drive address. So you can use the message command. So it is connected on HDB1, sudo mount slash dev HDB1 and mnt. So it is mounted in, sorry, not in media, mnt. So I hope you understood this command. Now next is srv. So srv is just used for service data. So there is no much use of this directory, but you can keep some service data, like if you want to maintain some logs or logs of the application, then in that case you can store those logs into the srv folder. So that's all guys from this tutorial, and I hope you understood the file system, and just do more practice to understand more about all these directories. So I would say thanks for watching this video, and we'll meet in the next video again.